guys, just pulled up on the bank here at Gamtoos. For some reason the Garrick and the Kob have been very quiet for me. I've literally done my first drift through here on the white SureStrike Bone White. The first little grunter has come to pay a visit. When I came in here, I saw a couple of nice tails going here. This is a really small one, but hopefully first cast on a fish doesn't always breed good success. So there we go, nice little grunter taken on the SureStrike Topwater and the Bone White. Get the hooks out of this guy. Let's see if one of those big guys won't come along and say hello. Alright, there we go. That first little cast, first little grunter. The amazing thing is I've just caught a fishing rod and reel as well. I'll put that up in my group and see if there's anybody that lost a little fishing rod over the weekend. But nice little grunter to kick off the day. Let's get this guy back in the water, see if there's a few more around. There we go, big guy. Right. It's a bit of an in-between tide today. I'm on the outgoing tide, but it's well into the outgoing tide. Like I said, I have seen a few nice tails. A few tails in the channel behind me here. When I came drifting in here, two nice big tails came up over here. So I made my first cast right onto the bank. I'm probably only in ankle deep water there. What I'll do is I'll just keep letting it drift over. You guys know the MO. Just flick it every now and then, just to make sure that we get that grunter's attention. Moving quite fast, probably at a fast walking pace. Set a swell right in front here. I'm always wary of first cast fish on. They normally result in a quiet afternoon. Let's see what happens. Nice tail going down there. Grunter here. Oh, there he goes again. First cast curse. Grunter at the top there. Grunt. Wow. Okay, so they are here. Alright guys, I let this go onto the bank. I thought I'll just twitch it back to the boat, and I think, I'm praying, I heard a nice big this is either a nice big cob, or it's a very nice grunter. I'm hoping this is going to be a cob. Right on the edge of the bank, guys. Just a twitch. Came up and he snatched it with quite a gulp. I'm hoping that this is going to be a cobby. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it's a good fish. It's a nice big grunter. Woo! It's a nice big grunter. Snatch this lure with a slurp. Nice big slurp. Look at that reel go, man. Look at that reel go. What a grunter. I just hope he stays on the line. This is the one I've been fishing for a couple of weeks. Woo! Woo! What a take. He took so hard, such a slurp, that I was convinced that was a cob for a second. He's on the middle hook. I hope he's well hooked. But it's a nice grunt. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Man, I just switched off the camera. And I was thinking of making a move, and this guy came up and snatched it. Look at this beautiful fish. Let's hope we can get him landed. Yes. Not fighting that hard for his size. Just barely hooked on that one treble. Man, I hope we get this guy out. Just going to take my time. A fair bit of current here. Oh, that's all well hooked. This is a tight drag, chaps. 15-pound HMP brains. Never let me down. Let's hope the hooks hold. He's barely hooked. That second hook has found a hole now. Man, this is going to be a nice grunter. This is going to be a nice grunter. Yeah, baby. Right, chaps, and there it is. A nice, I'm going to put it on the weigh mat now. We'll see what it measures, but I reckon this guy's close to 70. Definitely a higher 60s fish. Taken on that SureStrike Bone White, guys. It smacked me so hard next to the bank here, I thought it was a cobby. Let's get the hooks out of this chap. We'll use my tool for that. Clamp it on and just drop it down there. We'll put him onto the weigh mat, guys, but what a nice fish. Alright guys, let's get a quick measurement on this fish. That's my biggest grunt in a while on Topwater. Let's get him on the new measure mat. Slide him up to the 0 there. And that's it. So 64 to the fork. And 66 to the tail. Chaps, that's a nice grunter taken on the SureStrike Bone White Topwater lure. This thing has caught me so many Garrick and so many grunter, it's unbelievable. But there we go, chaps, I'll lift him up. Right, and there we go, chaps, a nice grunter taken on the SureStrike Bone White. This is the fish I've been waiting for. This guy smacked me so hard on the surface that I thought it was a cobby. Let's get him back in the water. I've seen some tails around here, probably a bit bigger than that one, so hopefully we can get ourselves another nice grunt. Right, let's get him back in. And he's strong. Right, chaps, so what I did on my very first cast here when I got that smaller grunter, I'm casting right onto the shallow bank here. The river's making a new channel that sweeps through here. The old channel is looping around the back. I'm just on the corner by the VereBoss. The first cast I made, I put onto that bank and I just let it drift down, all the way down. And in the middle here, that little guy picked me up. The next 2 or 3 casts, I let it sweep across. And then when it got down to the bottom, I thought, well, I've run out of my drift now. And on that fourth, I think it was the 4th cast, I'm doing what I did now. It's on the other bank here. I just slowly worked it up. And that grunter came up and hit me with such a slurp that I actually thought it was a cob. Those of you that have watched some of my other grunter videos will see, and I've got a couple of tactics here. Gamtoos traditionally is a pretty damn hard river to get these guys on Topwater, but if they're in a feeding mood you can get quite a few. But generally the bigger ones are quite far and quite few in between. I just saw another tail on the opposite bank drop off. The bigger ones I find on Gamtoos are normally on the drop-off. They're not always in that shallow water on the banks. We cross them onto that back gradual bank. The drop-off is on the other side of that sand. And as I said, I picked up that little guy. Yeah, I thought, let me work one back up against the bank. I must just remember to do this one a little bit earlier. And it was probably 3 or 4 little teasers and whack. I didn't get that on camera, but I got a couple of the runs. That was a nice grunter. I really enjoyed that. Let's see if we haven't got another one in line for us tonight. I'm not going to reel at all. You'll see I'm just teasing it every now and then, keeping an eye on that lure, looking for that first indication. Sometimes they give it a swirl first. That one just came in and mullered that lure. Right, chaps, I think since I caught that fish, with a fish, me screaming, and talking to you guys on camera, I haven't had another grunter rise here. I mean, no more than knee-deep water in front here. One thing I can tell you about a grunter, guys, is you've got to be absolutely silent. I drifted in from about 100 meters away. I landed up on this bank. As I said, there's that shadow bank, and then it drops from about ankle deep into this knee-deep water. While I've drifted in here, I spooked one little grunter, or actually quite a nice grunter over there. I caught that first small one, and I think on my 4th cast I got that other big guy. With me talking, a little bit of theatrics when I landed it. It was quite a nice fish. The real reaching off and me talking to camera. I haven't had another grunter here. And I'm probably going to move now. I'm going to move as quietly as I can, just push the boat in, and then just drift 50-40 meters down the bank here, fish another area. I haven't seen much grunter activity further down. I saw one on that bank down there earlier. As I said, we're losing the light now. We're about a fist off the horizon. But I can almost with certainty say that that activity that I did here, landing that fish, has spooked whatever shoal of nice fish was feeding here. When you see me on camera again, I'll be either on that far bank or on this bank over here, fishing some virgin ground, and hopefully that will be the difference between another little grunter. Let's see what happens. When you do this, chaps, when you move off a bank, if you can, don't start your motor. I'm actually going to get my paddle out. I'll push the boat and jump in when it's about knee deep. The current will wash me this way, but I'm being pinched against by the wind. But starting a motor, putting it in gear, those clanky clanks of putting it in gear, they scatter those grunter, especially in the shallow water. So if you want to hunt grunter, stealth. Right, chaps, and just like that, my evening's coming to an end. I'm just sitting off the VereBoss now, and I've been spoiled with a spectacular, and I mean spectacular, cob in the shallow waters. Probably no more than deep water, knee-deep water. He made 3 appearances in that little shallow channel. I first thought it could have been a raggy. I saw one a couple of years ago on this very same bank. But watching his behavior, and eventually I saw his fin come up. I'm talking about 50 kilo plus, easily 50 kilo plus cob. Came into very shallow water and found himself at the end of a bank. And then he panicked a bit. He made a couple of turns and then disappeared into the deeper side of the channel. But the sun is on the horizon. I've lifted anchor now. I'm just doing a drift, hoping for one more grunt along the way here. But boy, oh boy, what a cob that was. I see a bit of movement. I think he's back in that shallow bank. I might go and see if I can catch him on the cell phone again. But what a fish that is. It is a ginormous cob. Yeah, he's still there. I can actually see him moving around on the bank there. I might go and start up and see if I can catch him on the cell phone. I don't know if I'll be able to motor on there because of the outgoing tide has made it quite shallow. But let's see if we can go. Let's see if we can go and see him. Right, chaps. If I don't see you again, next time I'll see you on YouTube. It's been a knacker little afternoon session. Got 2 little grunters, or at least 1 little grunter and 1 decent one. I think that's it for me. SureStrike Bone White. What a lure. What a lure. Stop recording.